Understanding what drives spending is crucial for making informed financial decisions. Consumer behavior is influenced by psychological triggers like advertising, peer pressure, societal expectations, and cognitive biases. Marketers skillfully tap into these triggers to shape purchasing habits. For example, the anchoring bias affects pricing perception. A high initial price beside a discounted one makes the latter seem more attractive. The scarcity principle creates urgency by suggesting limited availability, leveraging the fear of missing out. Social norms like reciprocity drive consumers to return favors, often leading to unplanned purchases. Understanding these triggers helps consumers recognize when they are being influenced and encourages more deliberate spending choices. By becoming aware of these tactics, consumers can pause and assess the true value of their purchases, fostering healthier financial habits and resisting impulsive spending.
All right, there was quite a bit in there. Dr. Judith, how do marketers tap into our emotions and subconscious to get us to buy? And how can we guard against making unnecessary purchases?
Yeah, it's good. We're not rational in our decision making about spending. And the studies show that 95% of our decisions are driven by these subconscious urges. And behavioral economics studies this, and marketers know what that research is, and they know exactly how to get us. Things like buy one, get one free. Well, free gives you just that word gives you this dopamine hit, and it gets you all excited. And if buy one, get one free, like, oh, whatever. Then I get used to something. If I get to free trial of something, and then I don't want to let it go. They know how this works. FOMO, the scarcity, fall season, Starbucks, pumpkin spice latte, it's only available for a limited time. You better get it now. Well, all these things tug on us. And they know what that does. We want this sense of belonging. We want to be part of something. We have the scarcity of FOMO, the fear of missing out, time limits. And all of those are just really geared to grab us so that we don't consciously know that that's why we're doing what we're doing. We're emotionally driven, but then we make up rational reasons for doing it. But that isn't what that is. So signage, music, scents, FOMO, pumpkin spice lattes, all those things, you're going to lose it if you don't get it now. Is preys upon our loss aversion, that we don't want to lose out of something. We're afraid of the pain of that. So we have this impulsive buying. So we need to be aware, though, that these are the forces that are happening, be able to catch those, notice, oh, this is playing on this, and to be able to be more in touch with ourselves. Like, what am I really feeling? What am I sensing? What matters to me? What are my real needs? What are my values? And allow that to guide our purchases rather than that knee-jerk reaction to those things that behavioral economics and marketers know so well.
It is sensory overload.
Totally.
Bob, can you explain the concept of me and not me in spending and how that relates to societal pressures?
Yeah. Well, Alfred. Oh, absolutely. Alfred Adler coined a term called lifestyle. And we all have a lifestyle that says, this is me, this is not me. And we also have an aspirational me. And the marketers know how to tap our aspirational me and to get us to spend just a little more than we should have, or maybe a lot more than we should have, or something we really didn't need that fits our aspirational picture.
Megan, in your research on couples' financial interactions, how can couples help each other? And maybe what are the complexities that can lead to arguments?
Yeah, I think some of the complexities I see often is that it's really easy for us to see when we have made the decision to not buy something, but it's much harder to see our partner's decision to not buy something. So I think often fights happen because maybe I did decide not to eat out 10 times in a row, but my husband only saw when I did eat out. Or maybe I'm not noticing all the times my partner isn't shopping, but I do notice when the bill comes. And so this idea that we're much easier to understand the context of our decision making, but we make assumptions about our partner, can make these marketing strategies feel even more powerful because we're looking at our partner like, how did you fall for that trick when I was able to avoid it, and ignoring the times that we fell for it too.
How do we make sure that we're on the same team as our partner?
I love the idea of doing money dates where you actually talk about, let's say you have unlimited amounts. You have all the money you want, buy everything on this little fake date that we're on, and tell me what will bring you joy. Why do you want those things? What are the values underlying those decisions? And mentally shop together so you can hear about some of the things that you're missing out, or maybe some of the things that you need to use your funds to get rid of. Like, for instance, there was a time in our lives when our kids were little that my husband was talking about how much the lawn care worried him and stressed him and took time from him. And so we finally, on one of those money dates, were like, that is more worth the money than us eating out during the lunch. So let's pack our lunch a little bit more and give that money to give you more time with the family instead of out there in the lawn. And so I think having those mental shopping where you don't judge your decisions, but really look at what's underlying those decisions can be helpful.
I'm on board with the money dates. Probably need to have more dates in general with my wife, but money dates is also a great thing. Maggie, when you're working with clients, what are a couple of practical strategies that you recommend for people to avoid falling into marketing traps?
Yeah, Andy. So very practical tips. And you all know we just saw Prime Day happen recently, and there was so much marketing about that. Talk about FOMO. The first thing would just be unsubscribe from those emails. As soon as you get an email, have the agency to be like, no, unsubscribe. I'm done with you for right now. Now we all know that they're going to go right back, probably in our emails in probably another 2 to 3 months. But then we have the decision to make again. Do we want to be back on that email list? If not, unsubscribe. The second one would be just let's go ahead and remove credit cards from those online accounts. It is much harder to go and for us to physically get up, go get your credit card, go and put it onto our online account than it is if we're just like swipe, buy, swipe, purchase. This way, it's literally causing a physical pause before the purchase if we have to go and get up and get that credit card.
Anybody else want to add to the us versus marketers? Okay,
I think
so with
anticipation is a really critical part of what Megan was talking about, and working these issues about money, spending, and values before you get married and say I do, or decide to cohabit, or whatever it is we do nowadays.
Great.
Okay. I piggyback on that because I have such a geriatric millennial story where I didn't belong to Instagram for a long time until COVID happened. Then I had all these free time on my hands. And only because my Amazon wasn't hooked to my credit card, like Maggie suggested, did I realize that I was shopping more because of social media. That it wasn't like I was watching ads saying I needed this, but watching people that looked like me, who acted like me, who seemed to be like me, actually to say how much this product helped them and made me want to buy it. So I think watching out for that social media influence in this is very important too.
Thank you for sharing that. We're going to go to segment 2.